Wisconsin. Okay, hi there. It's ML with ML's Words of Wisdom from Wisconsin. And you may be saying, ML, why are you all dressed up? You know, normally you're wearing like a workout outfit or whatever. Well, today's show is about meeting online, having group connections and interactions online. And I had a meeting with the school with some other parents and the educators, what have you, using a product called Zoom. And I'm not advocating one brand over the other. They're all good. The Google's got one, and there's the Skyper and all of that. So I'm not advocating one brand over the other, but that's the one that we used. And afterwards, I thought, I wonder if I violated any Zoom interactive meeting etiquette. I get the feeling I did. I committed a digital fox pause because I just felt uncomfortable. They were using some terminology that I wasn't familiar with, like raise your hand. But that's not really what it was doing. It was like a virtual hand raising for the order in which people spoke. So I didn't know that. I just spoke out of turn. And I don't know if that was good or bad. And then there were some other questions that people were typing, and I didn't know where they were typing this stuff. And so I just started talking. And then other people said, you need to be on mute. Me on mute? What's that? So anyway. So I went on the Google and I looked at some interactive meeting etiquette that since nowadays with this corona virus and COVID-19, and we're all supposed to be doing social distancing and self-isolation and all of that jazz, we're all having to connect online. So I want to make sure that you, my viewers, know proper social etiquette for online meetings. Okay, so I found some information on that. First of all, very important is they say to dress to impress. So that's why I wore my vest, my Godspell vest today from the musical Godspell. And so I wore this. Now, I also have this button that I like to wear a lot. It's called Genius at Work. And it kind of like is a moving thing. And after I did the online etiquette, they say, keep this kind of thing to a minimum because it's distracting. Plus, if everybody on the call sees that you're the genius, then they'll give you all the action items. So don't have something like this on because then unless you want to do all the work, so that kind of thing. Another thing for dress to impress is if you have crowns because you were Kenosha Junior Miss in 1982. They say that if you're the boss, you can wear the crown. But if you're not the boss, you don't want to, have people think that you're the boss virtually. Because then if you're the boss, you got to have the agenda and you got to keep people on the agenda and whatnot. And so there's more responsibility that comes with the crown. Ain't that the truth? Okay. Another thing, a friend of mine, Kate, she told me that she can wear her workout clothes. And then all she has to do is add a scarf, like a sparkly scarf. And it looks like she's fully dressed for the day, but really she's in her workout clothes. So how does this look? You can't tell. It looks good. And, they say wear a color or a neutral outfit so that you don't stick out amongst all the people because then they'll assign you the action item, okay? And then another thing that they were talking about is consider what's in your background. Because they're not only going to see your face unless you're like this really close, and I don't recommend that because that's too close. That's too much ML. But if you look at your environment and everything that everybody else can see, like behind me, there's all my dishes that are drying, etc. But if like you have a lucky alien and you normally have him around, you might not want to have this lucky alien showing in the background because not everybody understands or appreciates aliens, okay? So you got to keep in your mindful of that. Or like, for example, your artwork. In another one of my shows that was called Paint by Number during the self-isolation pandemic, I was talking about how I did this watercolor look. And I used texture and thread to make it a masterpiece. Now, if you have something like this behind you, that could be distracting because everybody will be looking at its beauty and they'll be wondering, did she paint that? Oh, it's so good. I got to ask her about it. And then you'll get off the agenda and then the boss will be like, everybody get back on the agenda. Stop talking about ML's beautiful masterpiece. So you got to make sure that you don't have things like that in the background. Now, another thing that they say is, let's say you normally use like a magic 8-ball to make business decisions, okay? And you don't, you know you do it, but others don't. So you don't want to have, you have to be careful that you do this under the camera's view. So if they ask you, ML, are you going to do the spreadsheet or whatever, and you go like this, and you show that you're consulting your 8-ball, then they're going to know that that's how you make decisions. So just very nonchalantly go like this. It most certainly is so. Okay? Then they'll think that you're very decisive. Now, one more thing that they say is when you're looking at yourself on the screen, don't look at yourself. I find that so hard because I just love looking at myself. I love ML. And so I'll be like this, you know, making gestures because I'm on mute or whatever. So I'll be like, you know, like that on the screen. And they say you're supposed to look at the camera, which would be over here. So I'm supposed to be talking to you like this. Most certainly so. Well, anyway, you get the gist. So during this uncertain time, make sure that when you're on an online meeting that you're doing the proper social etiquette. Okay, well, that's all the tips that I have for right now. Okay, and remember, leave the genius at work pin at home. Okay, bye-bye now.